bro, if this is real, then history is not what we think. Whoa, it feels like it's the most dense thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
It's crazy. They're reacting to you.
He just kind of like grabs my hand and he's like, come here, let's just look at the sunset.
First, what happens is lines across the atmosphere, and the atmosphere starts to flicker.
And it slowly revealed itself. 4 or 5 different beings, they slowly revealed themselves.
But when they were found by the governments, they would turn them into concrete. So it was very empowering for us to know how far back we go as a species. They wanted us to have a better way of being. They wanted our waters to be clean. They wanted the earth to be clean. And if we don't start making a better way, then they're going to show up. And it won't be as much fun.
If you prove that any of these artifacts are genuine and authentic and came from an ancient civilization, it's game over. In Boerne, Texas, which is like what, an hour and a half away from Austin where we left, and we're about to go to visit Greg Smith and his partner Christy, who owns a bunch of allegedly very ancient crystal skulls and artifacts that came from Mexico and Peru in South America. Very excited to meet him again. I met him in Confluence and got exposed to these really incredible artifacts that, if they are legit and if they are real, kind of changes history as we know it. So this is gonna be fun, very interesting. Yeah, here we are. And it was fun to find out that Steven Spielberg did a movie about the crystal skull, Indiana Jones 4. And as we know, Steven Spielberg is very connected. He knows everything about aliens, ancient civilizations, and a lot of his movies are based on reality. So, interesting.
Hi, brother. Good to see you.
See you again, man. Can I touch it?
Sure.
Look at this. Bro, I can't lift it. I can't pick it up.
Right.
What? Oh my God. Okay, this has got to be, what, 80 pounds? Bro, I'm working out. What? Oof. Look at this thing.
All the inscriptions, this is one specific style. This calligraphy, the language here.
Which is what? Which
it's
language?
just a specific language that's on, some of the artifacts have this and some of it don't.
Do we know which language it is?
Can
we read it?
I think some people can read it.
Is it like Mayan or Aztec or?
It's like a combination. It's a combination.
So do you know what this is made of? Like, what is the material?
It's a ribbon calcite. So it's just in ribbons. So you can see the lines going across the top.
Oh
there.
yeah, you can see the lines right here. And where was this found? Do you know?
This was Tula, Mexico.
Tula Hidalgo, Mexico.
Tula Hidalgo. Right. Wow. This one's been out of the ground for a long time. And Customs got it. Let's see. Drilled a hole in it right here.
Wow.
Let's cut it with a knife. Inspecting pieces.
What are these green stuff doing? You know?
It's just jade inserts. They use a lot of different stuff inserting on these pieces. Like here has a similar language, and here you've got pieces of shell. Looks like shell or. Here.
Hi.
Mm-hmm.
Who's this?
Here's that. That's Rosie. This is that ribbon. Wow. Color. Well, there's a lot of artifacts that come out of the ground. Some are more magnificent than others. This is a giant chunk of crystal here.
Wow, look at this. This is amazing. Oh! Bro, it's so crazy how heavy this is. What is this?
Pyrite. So this would be like a
giant capacitor.
So this is like a pharaoh looking thing.
And Anubis here.
All right. Look at that. Are you getting this? Like detailed?
Yeah. It just looks like a...
Now this almost looks like it's like ground. It's like
Well, we call it erosion, so that would have been possibly where the reaction took place, where the... this is all technology, so energy would go through this. And so this is the reaction to the energy here. And you see these types of corrosion marks on all the pieces. Wow. I'm proclaiming it all to be almost like a spiritual technology. Because they're all working with elements, all working with energy orbs, and so we go through the crystals and the skulls and the pieces, and they're all showing this type of activity that these beings are doing. And we're just now deciphering what is this? Come on in.
came from Kadima in Israel from the 90s. It's silicone. It's made mostly from silicone, but not only. And yeah. And this is another one that was found in 94 in Israel in a UFO landing site. It's very light, it's porous.
This material is in some of the crystal skulls.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's almost a patch material.
Yeah.
It feels like plastic.
And it's so light, it floats in water actually. Yeah, which is also interesting. And check this out. The rover on Mars came up with this, right? Kind of looks similar.
It sure does.
Looks very, very similar.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So both of these rocks are going to be tested in August in Stanford in the lab to see exactly what they are. But interesting, in one of the more famous cases of UFO sites was in 1957 in Brazil. It's called Ubatuba. Mm-hmm. And a fisherman saw a UFO that exploded, and he found a bunch of this stuff on the beach. Mm-hmm. And he gave some of it to Jacques Vallée, who gave it to Gary Nolan in Stanford, who tested it and said it's industrial, not made by men, mm-hmm. because in 1957 it's mostly silicon, and looks just like this rock. So it's probably an alien rock.
Oh, definitely.
Both of these, yeah.
Both of these.
Not from this earth.
It's like this.
So is this the one that glows when you put a UV light on it?
He doesn't glow.
No?
No, but he's got...
So what's this guy's story?
There's a new site that has a lot of these onyx pieces. A lot of black skulls and black dolls.
Also in Mexico?
It's in Tula. The different sites have different minerals. So this particular site is mostly all onyx. Like this. There you go. This will create a little energy.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is definitely different. Almost feels like industrial foam. This looks like the organic material that are in the walls of the crafts. So this is what...
You mean UFO craft?
Yeah, spacecraft. That's what it looks like.
What makes you say that?
Because I've seen this before.
You've seen this? Where?
I'm just in visions and going up on the crafts and watching this stuff materialize.
You went on the craft?
I've been I go on the craft every night in the astral. I mean, how do you explain what we do at night when we sleep, right? So both Christina and I, we enter these ships all the time. Look at this. Does this look familiar? The surface of this, Christina? This is an organic ship coating.
Yeah, it feels like familiar to me. The energy coming off of it is really slow moving energy, so it feels like it's old, like an old craft.
Very old.
Yeah, it can be like this is much more fast, more energy, more flowing, alive, and then this is just a little bit like it does feel familiar.
This was recovered in 94 in a landing site of a UFO in Israel.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it was part of a giant piece, like something this big. And it has like, I don't know if he broke it or it broke by itself, I'm not sure. But yeah, he gave me that and a few other small ones that like it. It was interesting because some of them floated in water and some of them didn't, but they look the same, which is...
So, do they ever change, you think? We can do some tests on them, but sometimes they'll change where, like, they can float or they won't float, or it's like they're alive. They're doing different things.
And I know with this one, I tested it for radio frequency, which it does have. It changes a lot, and it has electric charge as well. No radiation, like dangerous to it. Geiger meter was like 0, so that was good. Yeah, and I'm gonna find out in August, hopefully, in Stanford Labs, what these two are. Yeah.
We're going to be waiting to see those findings.
And
We're going to send up.
Pretty sure like it's going to be similar to the one from 1957, the Ubatuba incident, but I guess we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I've got some interesting things here. Wow. This is where some of our friends hang out.
Look at this one. What's the story about this guy?
This is a brand new discovery, this series, and most of these crystals are half created. So one side's created and then you've got natural crystals showing. So it's just a different type of crystal skull from a different location. This is from a different location. These came from the same location.
Which is
all in and around Tula, but it'll be the same dig site. This is the same location.
right here. Can I grab it? Can you grab it?
Move this. It's a really delicate. Now there's that ribbon. That's the ribbon.
So is this a marble?
Sort of. It's soft. It's like a calcite.
And it has the cone and the bag. Mm-hmm. And that looks just like the Sumerian
Ra.
entities.
Sun god Ra. Mm-hmm.
So what is this material?
It's ribboned calcite. It would have been a living stone.
And you know where this was found?
Tula.
Tula, Hidalgo, Mexico.
Mm-hmm. Wow. These pieces were found together, the different broken pieces of these tablets. A lot of tablets have been recovered. So many tablets that we can piece together the stories of what they were doing in those times. And it's a very different story than what history has been written about.
Oh, yeah.
How the people were, what they were actually doing.
Yeah.
And the Stone Age was very, very intelligent. It was not cavemen tossing rocks. We're talking about working with alien species, interdimensional species, and working with these beautiful crystals. So these are all being unearthed from caves, from fields, from different locations in and around Tula. And all over Mexico, actually. They're on fire digging right now. This is a funny one. There you go. Two faces, one here and one here.
Oh, right. This is a face right here. And then there's a face right there. And it's so heavy, it's silly.
Right?
Yeah, because that's not that big. And then I'm like, I'm working very hard here.
And part of it's the energy that they're putting out. Makes it feel more dense.
Whoa, it feels like it's the most dense thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
It's crazy. They're reacting to you. This one you could probably talk about for 45 minutes.
Oh my God, look at that.
Bizarre. Yeah, so he's a step pyramid. This disc. What are they trying to say? It just kind of goes up there.
And this was found same place?
Yes.
Tula
Hidalgo. And so one of the riddles has been the age and working with the professional scientists to test these items. And so they look for organic material. And the best bet is what we call the glue. Okay? And it's kind of like that material that you have. And so it tests out to be kind of similar to super glue, But it's ancient alien super glue. So they discounted our pieces in the beginning, saying this is similar to super glue. So you've got super glue on your pieces. But they were dug from the ground, and they're that old. So we knew it wasn't super glue per se. It was the type of adhesive that was used during this time.
I can't.
So what would this be? What would it be used for? Why would they make this?
What do you think?
We ask other people these questions. So I have my theories.
What is your theory?
Oh, my theory is that they're all components. They're all components. They're all energetic components. And so the way they thought, the way they built, using energy, frequency, light, vibration, the elements, they thought in a whole different construct. And so the caricatures, these are all stories. So this would be an entire legend. I call it a plaquette of information. So each plaquette contains every little mark and scratch on there is part of the language. So this is an entire story here, just on the surface. Each of these is an entire story. So this piece would probably be educational. It would be to be studied, probably by the youth or someone new to the area. This would be something to help them understand possibly the beings that are involved in the step pyramid, steps to ascending into your godship. The way that they thought, like I said, it's in symbols. It's all symbols, languages. I think this guy. So this is raw. It's a nice little crystal skull of raw.
Wow.
So add some UV light, and it's got bioluminescence material in the scribing and within. I'm gonna have to charge this. It just quit. You saw the green.
Yeah. Did you see that? So what makes it glow like that?
We call it bioluminescence. It's a specific material that's in a lot of the crystals. So there's a glowing blue and a glowing green and glowing yellow and glowing orange. So it's a specific material. We've had it tested, carbon dated. We've done radiographs on it. It's very specific. It's very unique, and it's put on with a specific type of adhesive. But what's really interesting is many of the pieces have it permeated inside the crystal, so it'll glow from the inside out.
But carbon dating you can only do with organic things, right?
Right. So the material in there.
Okay. And this is again the same deity with holding the cone in the bag.
Right.
Which you have a bag like that,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
More than one. You have more than one?
Yeah, we have quite a few bags.
Yeah, look at this. Kingsley, zoom in on this. This is like almost like a tree full of the cones, right? And I think some people say the cone is like your pineal gland, right? Where you produce DMT. Bro, if this is real, then history is not what we think. This is so wild. I mean, you tell me, what does it feel and look like? It looks insane.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it feels so real.
Mm-hmm.
It feels completely genuine and real.
I mean, this
It has a presence. It has like a force field. All this stuff. It's just like,
So when you say it has a presence, what do you feel when you touch it?
yeah, just like force, like a force field. You really feel it.
Is it similar to your rock?
No, but you know what? It does have. The rock. My rock lately has been making me feel very heavy. Like I weigh a lot more than I do, and that's kind of the same thing with this. All this stuff weighs way more than it looks like it should weigh. It's like almost like. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get this, and this feels lighter.
It's not that light. It's pretty heavy for something so small.
I think that's pretty dense.
Yeah, that's what it feels. It feels super dense. Everything.
Everything's dense. A lot of series of these armbands have come out.
Armbands. Oh wow. Oh. Kingsley can't get the.
So this
the
had
thing
a
that-
dial. The dial's broken off. But this one moves.
Oh wow.
Look at this alien-looking being.
Put your arm in it.
Hmm?
Put it over your arm. Dial in your.
Whoa.
Where are you going? This was found just like this, yet it had another.
Bro, I feel like what's the guy from the Avengers?
I was gonna say X-Men. Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Whoa, that's so what is this? What is this? What is this material?
Don't know.
It's also very heavy.
We call it limestone because it's more of a classification of an accumulation of materials.
What's this thing right
That
here?
would have one of these. So the dial broke.
Oh, the dial broke. Okay.
Dial broke.
This is very interesting.
Yep, but it's just a little, you know, little peg settled in, and it's all. That's jade.
Ooh, look. Do you see? Aliens is kind of like.
It's another face.
Yeah, it's a face. Oh, so there's an alien being right here. Do you get that?
Mm-hmm.
And then Saturn right here. And then, ooh, what is this? Is this Earth? Like right here. See, he's holding it in his hand. See, that's the hand.
Is that creator holding the earth?
Is that the Earth?
And look, there's a bunch of like
Can you make out?
planets. See, oh yeah, you see here, it's all these are like planets, I guess. Whoa, that is crazy. Is the bigger one charged already? Not yet?
I didn't see the.
Oh, look at this. Whoa. You running?
Yeah. Readjust.
Look at this. This kind of looks like the Earth-ish. What he's holding in his hand. And then in the other hand, Saturn right here. Christina, Greg, thank you so much for having us in your incredible home.
Thank you.
Before we start, ask you to introduce yourselves. But before that, can you introduce our little friend here?
Well, he's not so little. This is a 83-pound clear quartz crystal skull. It was found at the viral dig video where there are other very large artifacts, but we specialize in crystal skulls and they do talk to us and we do feel their presence and their messages that come through. And this is one of the most magnificent finds that we've found so far.
86 pounds. Quartz type crystal, very complex crystal. So this would have been the most important piece in this specific dig. So the crystal skulls are more like it's technology. It's technology. Technology of the times. What time frame are we talking about? What age do you give this? Because it's still undetermined.
Okay, we'll go back to our friend here. But before that, can you present yourself like to people who want to know who you are, how you got to this?
I'm Christina and this is Greg. We've been working with crystals for quite a while at the ranch here in Texas, and they have had messages for us. We could feel their energy. They just really helped like our ascension process and being able to be more fluent with our psychic powers. And then we came to the discovery of these artifacts. And that was just so magical when the people that have been holding these artifacts and discovering them have reached out to us and said, they are now coming alive. And they're saying that you two are the ones that are going to bring this discovery to the world. And I feel like every day that we've had them with us has just been a whirlwind of more discoveries and more information coming to light that the people are ready to hear now.
And how did this whole thing start? Like, tell us about yourself. Like, what did you do before and how did you get into all this insanity?
Myself, I was called to drive across America to the ancient sites. So I saw the megaliths, the monoliths, the pueblos, the cliff dwellings, and I spent a lot of time in meditation, deep meditation, listening to the planet speak. And, it was really interesting to wrap my head around that because I was hearing this deep vibration that was the earth speaking. She's a sentient being. And she was basically telling me what that place was and that it needed this information, which was these Sumerian starseed crystals that we've discovered. And so I would take the crystals and do a process where I'd put them in the ground and say some words to heal the planet. And so I was on this mission for 2 years, driving around 2 different waterways and hearing out the United States and seeding the ground with these stones. And they spoke to me and said, you'll travel more. And then we met, and I traveled to Florida, where we seeded the waterways and we did ritual in honor of the ascension of the planet, and cause and effect. We saw things happen. And then we built crystal grids, and we used pendulums and energy, and we saw the energy happen. And the crystals were changing. And the crystals taught me a way to tap them so they become more active, if you will, more alive. And so we were getting all these messages and messages. We traveled all around Florida, rescued a lot of crystals.
If the right people will see it and the world will know about it, it will change history. It will change everything. So go way back. Tell me about yourself. Where did you grow up? What did you do in your life? What did you do before this? And then how did this started to happen?
I grew up in Kingsville, Texas. It was a real interesting small town. A lot of orphans there, and a lot of real low vibrations. So my life was very sheltered. And my dad taught me at a young age contemplation. He would sit and think quite a bit, right? And so he said, when you can stare into a rock for a full hour, you're going to have more thoughts. And so he spent a lot of time in contemplation. He would tell me things. So it really started 12 years ago when Gina passed over, my late wife, and I was in a mental condition that caused me to look at the ground. And I started noticing the stones or rocks. And I would, before that, I was a regular guy. I had a business, very successful business. I had a horse ranch.
You were a DJ.
I was a DJ back in the 80s. I did all kinds of stuff. Lots of magical things.
And you and your wife were together for
25 years.
25 years.
25 years.
2 sons.
2 boys.
Yeah.
Right. And so there I was, all that great accomplishment and all collapsed. I'm looking at the ground. And
what kind of business did you have?
My business, I did auto-reconditioning. I was a mobile magician. I took dents out of cars and touched up the paint and worked on Ferraris and whatnot.
You also had show horses.
And then we had show horses, right? That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then your wife passed away.
Yeah, Gina passed away from a 4-year battle with cancer, where I saw a lot of supernatural things in and around her death and through the process, which is a whole other story. But it really opened my mind to energy. And so I could see energy. And so I started picking up rocks and just spending so much time looking at these rocks. And I'm feeling something, right? And I thought it was just depression, but I was learning to communicate with the energies that stones and crystals hold.
And you learned how to use the energy in your hands to also help heal Gina and give her longer life.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did.
And you also helped heal me.
Right. So I learned to recognize energy patterning through my mind. And Gina had surgery. I took out the breast and had to cut through a lot of things. So there was a lot of repair work. So you get these pieces of scar tissue, and you have to break them up in order to regain the use of your arm. So every day I would break these up, and I started to see the energy in my mind. Now, this was 17 years ago. And I started to recognize the energy, and I could hear it speak. I could understand it. And so we were manipulating the energy inside of her body. It actually eliminated the cancer 3 times through the scans that it was cured, because I not only could I break up those particles, but I could see the cancer through the energy, and I would focus on that and dissolve it. And so it taught me, how much energy we have. And that did finally come to a close, through no fault of our own. That's a whole other story.
Yeah.
So let's change the subject.
Okay. And then she died, and he started
looking at the ground.
Where you found just crystals.
Started finding crystals
here in Texas,
right here on the ranch.
Yeah.
So the reason I would find them is here. I go grab a few crystals. Here you go. This is one. So this is a Lemurian tailing. It's an ancient diamond.
So you found this here?
Yeah, on the ranch. There finds a cave.
There's a cave here on the right?
Yes. The creator cave. So part of the reason that crystals come here is that there's a living, breathing creator cave here.
Can we go see it, Afan?
We can go look into.
Look, so this is what you have on your neck? Can you call this?
It's a Lemurian starseed diamond crystal. And it's a unique pattern, only occurs in the stone. And it's not even a registered stone specific. So that's really what started the process of me becoming aware, is working with these crystals, that I would feel a vibration and get a thought, and these thoughts weren't mine. And so I realized that I was communicating with minerals, and they were saying the powers that they hold. And there's so much more. And yeah.
So you found these after your wife died, and
I started working with them, collecting them, hearing voices, seeing phenomena in the sky.
And they told you that they need to go to certain people.
Right. So they would actually speak and say, this individual needs these diamonds to help them remember. And so I set on a mission for about a year and a half, and I sent out probably 1,000 packets of these to people that I'd met through social media, that I recognized their vibration. So they would get
What was that like to go from being a normal person to all this? Like, did it surprise you? Did you think you're going to went crazy? Or?
Oh, sure. Everybody does. So when you come across something like this, you feel like you've gone crazy. Absolutely. Because how does this make sense?
Yeah.
Right. Along with a large sarcophagus and 20 crystal tablets and a giant pyramid.
When I met Greg, he was at a state where his family was like, maybe you're crazy, shouldn't be doing this, go back to work a 9 to 5. And that's when he came to live with me in Florida. And, I was letting him know, like, no, you don't have to go back to a 9 to 5. We can pursue this together. And I did kind of help reground him. Like, yes, we are on this planet of Earth, and we do need to live our lives here and take care of what we need to. But then you can also go into your spirituality. So it's just really a practice of how many hours am I going to spend in meditation, and then which days do I want to focus on all of my 3D responsibilities. So just learning to have a schedule and flow, and then allow yourself that time to go astral and connect with crystals. And
because I'd spent the better part of 7 years in another dimension, basically.
After you found this?
After I started dicing the crystals and communicating with the cave. So the cave speaks. So if you go to the cave and you sit still, you will feel the phenomena of the cave. Yeah, right. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. But that's why these crystals come here. It's part of an activating process where the energy from the cave runs into these crystals and they become more aware.
But again, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So your wife passed away. You found these unique crystals on your land. You started communicating with them, feeding their energy. And then what'd you do then?
I started drawing. So I started doing this spontaneous drawing. And it's basically the pattern of crystals. And I could show you some of it. And so I would go into a trance-like state, and through vibration, I would draw.
And we're talking about these starseeds, rocks, Lemurian
starseeds.
Was that the name that you gave it, or
they gave it? That was their stated name. So this is a Lemurian creator cave, is what it's called itself.
I can't wait to see it.
And yeah, it's very interesting. And so, so we were spending a lot of time, almost every day, we'd go out to the ocean and say words and put these diamonds in the water. And you can see on the videos the patterning in the sand and the patterning of the water would place these. It would completely change the water. And then the sky would give us a report where there would be specific shapes showing up and clouds coming lower and all this action. And then the sunsets would always be just amazing. And so very specifically around what we were doing. And we noticed the difference in nature. We would see the weather get wonderful in front of us, right? And so we were communicating, and we knew we were communicating with the elements.
With the main intention of purify the waters, clean the air, bring back the foods that are natural for the environment and for the people to have.
And that was the messages coming through these drawings, is that they wanted us to have a better way of being. They wanted our waters to be clean. They wanted the earth to be clean. They wanted to stop all the drilling and the gutting of the mountains for lithium. But there's a better way. And if we don't start making a better way, then they're going to show up. And it won't be as much fun. But we have an opportunity to clean things up now.
Yeah.
Okay, but again, so I want to go back because I want to get to the past and kind of piece together how you guys looked at to where you are today. So you got your first box, you got all this stuff, you're fitting all this stuff, you realize, okay, this is my goal. Like, did you guys realize, okay, this is what we're going to do? This is our destiny, our passion to bring this to the world?
Yes. It was, we were confident from the minute we met the professor.
Professor?
The professor is the first skull.
First Arsenal skull. And he told me, he said, when school you on how to communicate with the crystals and the crystal skulls, I'm going to teach you how to be there for other people when they are communicating with the crystal skulls. And that's when I was like, we have to get the crystal skulls for the collection and then also for the people. And they're very adamant. They are pushy. It took us a long time to battle back and forth between the mindset of, let's just have a small collection for ourselves and that's it. But then you start to think, what if it gets covered up by the government? Or what if they do just get spread around to random people all over the place without intention and purpose? And then that's when the artifacts really started coming on and say, yes, you guys are going to do this. And we were just so enamored with the energy of it. And knowing that the history that we were told isn't the full truth and that these could help piece that together somehow. And we don't know how it's all going to work out, but we're just going to keep going forwards. And it was a lot of hope and a lot of luck. And we got down to $0. We had nothing left. And we went to Confluence. And we met some of the right people.
The first one?
This last one. This one? Yeah. That one that saved us.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You want to share more about that?
Well, the artifacts, we just set out to save as many as we could. And so it seemed more important to bring in the crystal skulls than to have money in the bank. Watching the economy and everything that happens, and they don't understand money, these crystals, and this history is that important.
And we manifested that we're going to go to Confluence and we're going to meet the right people, and the right people will come to us. And we did have someone that's now an investor come in. She spent a good amount of money on her own collection of artifacts. So that has saved us to the point where we can now keep going. And
our goal was never to sell the art.
It was never our goal.
Never. And a lot of people who approach this kind of like to buy this piece, but they're really not for sale. They're for prosperity. They're for the future.
Our vision is to have like a museum or a center, so a Starseed center where practitioners can come in. They could lease the artifact for that day in a room and do their sessions while they're at the center, and then make that available for everyone to be able to come in, just have a session with any practitioner that is at the center and do healing and really bring in different types of healing modalities and make it a powerhouse of the new wave spirituality. And with this as the base foundation, give the kids can have classes there where they try to learn telepathic communication. There can be all sorts of, it's a big dream that we have.
So the foundation of that is that we're dealing with ancient computers. We're dealing with, that's the best term. It is a hard drive, and so you've got all of this clean information that was created through source energy, and that's what's in these crystals, is this clean information energy. And when you synergize with these crystals, magic happens. And so what they've told us they're capable of is yet to be proven, but it has been proven. Boguspheres come in a lot of forms, and you can turn it on that stand.
Wow. What is this, Mayo?
That's obsidian.
Looks like obsidian.
Wow. So the Bogusphere was found in Colombia, flying around. There's multiple videos of it, and then it's been
Taps the power line, and it comes down.
yeah. And then I asked you about it, and you said, "Well, that's not the only one.
No,
We have others." And you sent me pictures, which we're gonna show, of other Boguspheres that look just like it,
right?
in the hands of the people that you guys are working with in Mexico.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
How many do they have?
That I know of in Mexico, there are five.
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 Let's call them Boguspheres.
We'll call them Boguspheres. Now there's another dozen hand Boguspheres, and then there's hundreds of these. So these large stone or crystal spheres, okay? And what are we doing on this crystal skull? Spheres everywhere. So we've got Boguspheres that are stone, crystal, almost like glass plaquettes glued together into a sphere. All different versions of an orb that would elevate. And they're showing us that they're elevating orbs. And the Bogusphere is just part of that technology.
That's interesting because the Bogusphere has like the microchip. All right. And then there's other artifacts that are now being unearthed that have the microchip on it as well.
And we hadn't seen that yet until the Bogusphere comes down. Now, this is a phenomenon with the artifacts, is that the Bogusphere comes down and then a crystal skull with the microchip is found, and then a disc with the microchip is found. And now we have obelisks with the microchip.
So it's either this is synchronicity by these deities or aliens, or which we'll talk about, because I'm very curious to know what you guys think about this. But whatever it is, it's not human technology, right? And so it's either this is all showing up at the same time to, I don't know, teach us something or make us grow, or they want us to find this, or it's the people who are creating this elaborate hoax that as soon as they saw the Bogusphere, they went immediately to their secret shed and made all these crazy crystal skulls with the same writing and the same, and now here we go. They can just manufacture this on demand.
Oh.
So it's one of these two options.
Right.
I guess I'm missing some options. I don't know. What do you guys think?
It would take too much time, and how fast it comes out, it's not really possible. It would take too much time to create that on your own. And it's always worked that way. So when we would get into a mermaid collection, more mermaid things would surface. And it's also just how the artifacts are. They magnetically draw the right people into our lives. They start bringing these stories out so you can get the whole story. So now this is the story that's coming out, and we're going to get the whole story as these artifacts are unearthed.
And what is this made of? Besides the fact that it's heavy as fuck.
It's like a limestone crystal matrix, and a lot of the pieces you can see little spots of erosion, and inside you'll see little pieces like quartz crystal.
So how do you know what this is made?
We don't.
You don't know.
Well, it's just
You assume.
And
we call it limestone.
yeah.
We can call it image. So that's like, okay. So
Sure. Look at that insanity. Wow.
Now
Okay, go ahead. Tell us what this is.
this shows like an orb, and they're coming out of the orb and then presenting an orb, right? And then you'll have this piece, just like an armband. And then that opens.
Whoa. Get a close up of this. Wow.
You have more symbols.
Do you know what? This is an eye.
It's like the pyramid and the eye.
That is amazing. So again, we have the deity. Oh, this now he's holding this Egyptian symbol, holding the Ankh. And then, especially on the highest elevation, this entity offering eternal life, saying this is what we're working with. Very entity sitting on Earth. What the artifacts first told me is that yes, there were millions of us, but when they were found by the governments, they would turn them into concrete. Why? Just to keep us blind. Yeah, simply not to let us know about our ancient past. Right? Because if this is, it was a very empowering for us to know how far back we go as a species. Yeah.
That they've been manipulating the people through the foods and the water to keep our pineal gland calcified, and that they don't want you to know that there's possibly free energy that was running the planet before from the ethers, not having to pay for petroleum, not having to have power lines, not having, if you didn't have that system, so many large corporations would go broke, and that would really break the whole system down. So just the story of it has to have some truth revealed, that they did manipulate the system, that they did hide some things away, and that they did kind of enslave us through having to use gasoline instead of free energy. And that's all available for us right now. We can still do it. We just need a system to restructure to help people transition into that. It's possible.
And part of what they show us is they weren't relying on foods. These beings didn't eat. They got their nutrition from prana, and then they learned to create the magic corn, and that's the famous Mexican corn,
The maize.
The maize, and literally 2 kernels of this corn was enough nutrition for your body for the day. And so when the bodies needed more, they could eat the corns. But we didn't eat meals. We didn't kill animals and cook them. In this time space, we breathed and lived. We barely ate anything. And so when the Spanish Inquisition came, they knew that if they cut out the corn, that was the connection of the people, and they could corrupt the people, and they could take all the gold, because they were looking for the golden cities, and they found them. And this is what's buried beneath the golden cities. They took all the gold. The Spanish Inquisition. So starting in the 1300s forward, and then they set up the Lions Clubs and the Illuminati and all that stuff, and the rest is history.
And also, if this is authentic and old, then what does it say about conventional science story or history?
It says that it's time to take a second look at what you're dealing with, because fundamentally, science doesn't have the ethers. It doesn't have the form without form. Science doesn't teach us to work with these harmonic energies. These temples, these pyramids, they were risen. They were not stacked. They were created with resonance,
With vibration.
right? Using these types of crystals.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the Stephen Greer 3 whistleblowers? One of them was a contractor who worked for the government, and he went down Air Force Base underground and saw this huge megalithic rock just hovering. Yeah. And he went down to tie his shoes, and so there was hovering above air,
Right.
and he felt the vibration. So that's that technology, right? This is how allegedly the pyramids were built, by hovering this stuff using vibration. Yeah.
Well, and
So we know about this.
you go to the megaliths, is those strange rocks, the Valley of the Gods, the monuments of the ancients, and they've got these giant boulders that are balancing on, something this big.
Where are the
It's in Arizona, I believe. It's the National monuments of the gods, I think is what they call it. And it's this one stretch of road between two Indian civilizations, and all these megaliths are there. And so all of these stones, it looks like, when people stack stones over the water, it looks like that. But these things are 50 feet, 100 feet, 200 feet, 300 feet tall.
That's in Arizona.
And then there's all of these independent outcroppings of stones that are just out, right? They floated until they sat down.
It's so wild.
And if you look at it, it's going to fall over, but they're not falling over.
And this leads to the story of what's really in the Grand Canyon.
Right. What is in the Grand Canyon? What's in the Grand Canyon? How come we can't see everything in the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Right. What's going on there?
Yeah, in Arizona, there's, I think, Ross Coulthard just did a bunch of stories. He went there and basically discovered like a secret underground base of the military that's doing some UFO shit.
That's freaking out.
Oh, so okay. So what do you guys think about aliens?
Aliens or met them? They're cool. They're our friends.
You met them?
Yes. Where? Here.
We didn't have contact.
We had contact.
Yes.
Physical or a dream or
No, in broad daylight.
Here on the ranch?
Yeah.
Here on the ranch. Where?
So we were out at our chicken coop, and we never do this, but
About 18 months ago.
about 18 months ago,
Now, this was following several ceremonies that we had in the Hopi circle.
CE5.
C5s. So we had successful C5s.
Lots of activity in the sky. And then we were at the chicken coop, and he just kind of like grabs my hand and he's like, come here. And I'm like, okay, what are we doing? And he's like taking me over to the horse pasture that we never go in. And he's like, let's just look at the sunset. I'm like, okay, so we're just standing there looking at the sunset, and then like
All of a sudden, first what happens is lines across the atmosphere, blurred lines. So it looked like curtain, like Venetian blinds. And the atmosphere starts to flicker. And then there's a ship.
and it slowly revealed itself. So it's like had an invisibility cloak of some sort. It was
It's like pixelation, and it just
so
starts doing here.
pixely, right? Like when you used to first turn on your old TV, and it would show like these armatures come out, and then it would open up so you could see the main deck. You could see who was driving the ship, and it was 4 or 5 different beings. They slowly revealed themselves. One looked like a giant red-headed man. One looked like he had octopus type of style for a face. And they were kind of like talking to each other, and then we're just standing there. We're just standing.
And I'm saying, are you? I say, what do you see? And she goes, it's here. It's a ship. And can you see? There's beings right there, and there's projectors on the bottom, and there's these. It looks like cannons, and there are these giant projectors of energy. I mean, these things are big, and so these armatures start dropping down, and they kind of go out and flow, and then go out and flow, and then at the end of the armature, it would be like the cockpit of part of the ship where these 2 or 3 beings were, and they would shoot their images out on these armatures, and we're looking at them, and then all of a sudden, 2 of them turn. The ones that looked like the elongated heads, they turn and look, and he says to his partner, they could see us. This is them. And they're saying, this is Deb. Hey, look. And they're really doing, and which language are they? Like, it's just motion. And I can feel in my forehead, I can feel them like they're talking about us. They're like, we're actually materializing for these 2 people. And so they continued to reveal, and there was a pair that looked like the ET phone home. One guy, his head was about this big, and he was dark brown, and then the younger one was green,
Right.
about this big, and then reddish brown. And then there was 2 Wookiees. This is what's really interesting, is we had 2 Chewbacca's, and they were in a cockpit. I'm not kidding you. And this guy just grins from ear to ear. He just looks over his shoulder. He's like, oh crap, they see us.
Yeah.
And then there was far, probably 200 feet from us. That was
In the air.
Yeah. And the really good ship, what color was it? What shape?
It was so huge. It just looked more like strands of light, and it was a big barrel beneath it. So it was just kind of went back like this, and all we could really focus on were these projections, and then this giant cargo door, which opened, and then they kept shoving projections in front of the cargo door of these different beings. And this is what I saw.
Yeah.
And so I saw probably 12 different groups of these entities.
But mostly holographic.
Yeah, they were all holographic.
Very holographic. Shiny.
But they were really there moving, and they were interacting with us. So they saw us. And then once the first group waved us, they're all like poking each other and like, we're on. We're
thinking that we were going to go up.
Yeah, I thought they were going to go ahead and drop an armature on the ground, and we were going to walk up. And I said, let's stay here. And so we're just mesmerized, just looking at this thing and feeling this energy.
For at least 45 minutes.
45 minutes, easily. And then they thanked us for our work, and they said we were on cue, and that to continue to recover the crystals, and that they were just basically giving us a high five.
Yeah.
And thanks for all the work. And then after, we just looked at each other, and all of a sudden it just started, they lifted the arms, and it was kind of a brownish silver color if it had a color. And then the lines appeared across the sky again. It looked like distortion. And then it just went in reverse. So it was almost like sun rays. And then it just backed in like this. And then no.
We didn't have our phones.
And that was what was really interesting. I said, why can't we record you? They said, we wouldn't appear. You can't record us. Not like this. This was the Galactic Federation. This was Commander Ashtar's ship. Commander who? Ashtar.
From the Galactic Federation.
He's apparently in charge. So I didn't see Commander Ashtar, but they said that was his ship.
So Alon, this is my crystal skull Peggy. She's going to help connect with you. She's going to translate any messages that we have come through. You can speak them, or I can speak them for you. Go ahead and place your hands on her. Baby, I would like for you to please connect with Alon now. We ask the messages come through clean and clear, and any energy that needs to be sent his way to help him prosper and become healthy each day with more energy, feeling full of love in his heart, can be sent to him now. See the cells in your body starting to activate with the crystalline technology that lives in you already. Remember how powerful you are. We ask to connect to higher dimensions in this session. We ask that you activate Alon's hands so that he can send energy to people around him. Everywhere he goes, he will be a beacon of light. As he walks upon the earth with bare feet, it will help heal the earth and heal himself. Now look in her eyes. We ask to activate Alon's eyes. As he looks at people in their eyes, it helps activate them and connect their hearts to the Mother Earth's heart. Now look in your eyes and remember that we are not alone. We are loved. When you hold your rock that you named Eden, that sending the energy into your hand in like a spiral, and you're very connected to it. So you're right to not send the one you're connected with away for testing. That it is important that you keep that one. Keep Eden. Now this one is transmitting some star map codes. There is a ship that is far away, but it's coming towards Earth. And when that's in alignment, the codes from the ship will come to you here on Earth through with your rock, Eden. And I do believe that that's going to start sending energy of more levitation. So there'll be more levitation on Earth at that time. If you're ready for it, then it'll be. Kind of feels like the energy around you is pushing you, that you're being pushed to keep going, to keep doing, and that you're on the right path. So we ask the crystals to please let the energy that you're pushing along with to be more of ease and grace, and to help clear the path for him to make everything come into alignment in the most beautiful way. How are you feel?
And my whole body is vibrating on a different level.
You're doing great. You're doing great. Thank you for all that you do.
I got the most incredible vision of the people of Israel, like in the desert.
Yeah.
Next to the mountain where Moses went to meet God. And there's like a huge fire coming out of that mountain. And then a bunch of flying saucer were showing themselves around everything. Is that wild? Right?
Let me see. Now we'll ground with Mars. He'll bring you back to Earth. You'll see those codes. We also ask Mars to align, bringing Alon into contact with the soul in his lifetime, to please let the forces that be allow him to see.
Getting a real strong pull on my right, and it's this entity, and he's asking directly if he can be interviewed. So what he's proposing is that you're going to embark on a certain number of interviews with people, and this being wants to come along and help translate their experiences and also speak through them at times. So he's a good guy, and he looks like a fish man. So that's all I got. Is he looks like a new little sculpture that we just got. He's got some gills. He's standing right over here. So are you ready for contact? Yes. Okay. And so it is.
That's so it is.
Can I? Dad, you can pick it. So that's a different Mars. So I had a different Mars there. A confluence. I call all these glass ones Mars. They look like glass. They're not glass.
Okay, so we got too immersed in all the skulls and the reading and everything. I didn't get to ask you about where you grew up, what you did before you met Greg, how you got into this whole phenomenon, skull, aliens thing.
I grew up in Florida, and I was always like psychic. I always knew that there was more happening, and I really turned it off because my mother didn't believe me when I told her, like I have visions of the future, this is what's going to happen. So I just lived my normal life, went to school, was an overachiever, did great things, went to college, had that lifestyle. But then I had a lot of trauma happen to me with my son's father, and he just wasn't the best guy. And I moved in with my mother after I had my son and took care of her for a while, but my life just felt no purpose, and I was just doing a little bit of psychic readings for people on the side, mostly being a mommy, and that's the greatest joy of my life. And we met each other on TikTok. Greg and I met on TikTok.
On TikTok? You can meet someone on TikTok.
It's possible to meet the love of your life on TikTok, because it's true. And he came and picked me up and took me to the Gaia convention, and that really just saved my life. I know that so many years I spent suppressing my psychic powers and not listening to my intuition, and it really did lead me down the wrong path by ignoring that intuition and your inner knowing of where I'm supposed to be. So if anything, don't ignore your intuition, follow your true purpose, and everything works out. It's possible.
So then with Greg is then where the whole artifact skull thing started to happen?
Yeah.
Was he already in this realm before you met, or you two started after, right?
Yeah, we started together.
right.
So I really had to push him to say, yes, go ahead and get that first dig paid for, and let's bring in those boxes. And it's really been an energy exchange too between both of us. So I keep him grounded while he can go and explore in the astral, and then vice versa. So he'll keep me grounded while I explore the astral, and it's really good dynamic where you do need somebody to help ground you in this process to have this many artifacts.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's complete madness.
Yeah.
Just like it's weird because every time I'm looking at a wall full of artifacts, and all of a sudden I see a new one that I haven't seen before, and it's right there in the middle. I'm like, how come I didn't notice this before? Yeah, it's wild. Okay, so you're gonna take us to the Hopi Circle,
Yeah, let's go to the Hopi Circle, and
then you're gonna
to
show us the cave, but we're not gonna film the cave today,
Okay.
right?
That's right.
Okay. Awesome. When did you discover this cave?
25 years ago, when we looked at the property, this cave was disclosed to us, and it's called a Texas sinkhole. That's what they call it. But it's actually a breathing part of Gaia. It's a part of the makeup of the Earth.
And how deep does it go, and how far? Do you know?
Well, so far we've only cabled a half a mile of the cave. It was done by someone else, and that's been documented. Here, you can go down about 30 feet down, and then there's corridors that go in different directions. But it's very elusive because sometimes these corridors are open and sometimes they're not.
And when they're closed, what are they closed by?
They're by a big
rock?
stone.
Big stone.
Big stone. Kind of like, some of those stories we hear about stones rolling in front of tombs. So, almost like warning, don't come here, energetically I can't match it. But yeah, it's a very special place. It's called the Creator Cave. This is Plato's Cave. And has much life and much history to offer us. So our next episode, we'll go down in there.
All right, that sounds good. And you said you need a group to go down there?
We need a group. You have to have someone at the top, at least two people at the top, and then walkie-talkies, and then people have to stay together down below because
Okay.
there's a lot of. You've seen Indiana Jones.
I've seen the first two. Yeah, I'm gonna go watch the fourth one with the skulls.
Right.
Steven Spielberg, he knows. He knows what's up. He's connected.
Yeah.
He knows what's going on.
He would like to know us.
Yeah.
He would like to know us.
So give us a little before we wrap this up, a little preview of what fun stuff that happened in this cave.
Well, I was first approached by a being called Ayunaka that spoke through me, and I did this dance and sang the song. And then it started to play out all of the events that had occurred and what the cave was.
So that was inside the cave?
Inside the cave.
Yeah.
I had a huge revelation the first time I went in, and that caused me to start really looking at things. So I went into this room the room is probably about 4 feet by 6 feet and about 6 feet tall. The room expanded to about 60 feet wide, 100 feet long, and the walls were just decorated with all kinds of stuff. And I just go into this trance and expand. And
when was that?
This would be 6 years ago. 7 years ago. 7 years ago. Yeah. It was phenomenal. And it showed me Lemuria. It showed me the primordial ooze. It showed me how the Earth's crust formed. It showed me the vascular system of the planet. It showed me how
What do you mean Lemuria? What's Lemuria?
Lemuria is the civilization before Atlantis. So first was Mu, then Lemuria, then Atlantis. So Lemuria was with Atlantis, and then Atlantis caused Lemuria to fade out, and then Atlantis fell. So this is remnants of Lemuria. This is a creator cave from Lemuria. What did you create there? Stones, lives, stories, life stories, and that's a whole other story.
Well, guys, I want to thank you. That was an incredible visit. How long have we been here, Kingsley? I think since 11, it's 4.
Yeah.
What is that? That's a lot. Time, but he went by quick, so quickly. It's incredible. I feel like there's so many more stuff we can talk about. Maybe I'll do another episode, maybe with the cake.
Yeah.
They would already if I will summon a Bogusphere.
Yes.
But I feel like the three of us are on a journey. We both got somehow, in touch with out of this world stuff. And I know how you feel because this makes me feel. And I showed it to him in Confluence and did the ice party trick.
Yeah.
But you haven't seen it. So let's do it now.
So we have some ice
So hit
here.
Ice here. It's not very big, but
Oh, there you go.
you can see that it's
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's like super
Instantly melting it.
instantly
and then
melting.
yeah. And then you can feel the rock that it's going to become cold.
Yeah.
Those cubes are not that big, so it's not very impressive, but it's already like
Yeah,
back
like
to the
it's moving really
see.
fast.
Yeah.
And it's not hot. It's,
No, it touches now. It's getting really cold.
it's cold.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not of this earth.
No, probably not. I mean, Professor Nolan's going to test it in Stanford
Yeah.
in August, and we're going to know for sure. But yeah, it seems like it's not.
And it's kind of like absorbing the water
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're seeking to prove that it's cold. It's
It's cold.
yeah. And you see like this little green stuff here, and this part is like completely different.
Yeah.
And you see these like cut signs here, which is interesting. This was not cut by humans, as far as I know. I mean, I don't. Who knows, right? But you're gonna find out. So I know this made me feel like, okay, I'm on this path, and now I need to chase it and see where it takes me. And he's taking me into people like you, and it makes me feel like the message is to elevate people vibration, spread love and awe and wonder in the world. And it seems like
we're not alone.
yeah, we're not alone.
We're not alone.
Yeah, and it seems like you guys are on the same path.
Yes.
From a different, crazier angle. I mean, it was just a rock. You guys have like stuff that's just.
Well, it was wonderful
Completely mind-
catching up and sharing this with you and your audience.
I really appreciate your time,
And we're gonna welcome
and
you back.
we're gonna do this again and do more crazy stuff.
Sounds
So very grateful. Thank you guys so much.
you.
Much love, and yeah, can I give you a hug?
We'll see you next time.
And thank you for the reading. That was super intense. Okay, I'm just gonna ask you, Flella, what do you think of all this? What was it like for you filming it from a side?
I don't know. I went in and out of this is a hoax to there's really something here, and then I just stayed in on there's something here. I think there's always a warming up period whenever you're interviewing somebody. Yeah, and like it takes a bit for them to get comfortable with you.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you noticed at some point he got super comfortable. And you could even look, it's like his feet were tapping and he was just got into it.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's always, if you're lucky, there's always that one moment where you get someone really just opening up purely to you. And that was kind of cool to see. And then also your reading was insane. Like, I don't know what you were feeling. I will get your take on it.
Yeah.
But I just felt this, like, when you started laughing, I was like crying. I was like, why is my nose running right now? And then like,
So you had a physical reaction.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was just after that one where you got the skull and you were just like started laughing. I was like, why is he laughing? And then I just was like, just some of the things she was saying as well about like finding your path and stuff. Maybe it resonated. It was really, it was like a beautiful moment. It was just like, hold together, kick sticky. Hold it together.
Wow. Yeah, that reading was like I took mushrooms. It's like a psychedelic trip. Now, is it real? Is it all in my head? I don't know, but I know that it felt real. It felt like it starts with these crazy vibrations of energy, just like feeling like waves, just like going all over in my body, going to my head, to my toes, just like it's like someone is like connecting you to like a grid. That's what it felt like. And then the things that you said, I was so zoomed in on the scars that everything else kind of got like blurred out. And I mean, when they gave me Frank, it's the second time I see him. So I sat with him in Confluence and he made me laugh so hysterically. When I saw him now, I was like, oh, buddy, like it's like he's like a familiar being. Very interesting. And then at the end, I just had this vision of, I don't know, just coming into my head, so real, of me being with like the Jewish people
leaving Egypt under the mountain when Moses went to get the 10 Commandments, and I saw like this huge mountain and fire was coming out of it. And then all of a sudden, just like this flying saucer just in a circle started appearing in my mind. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, is it just my imagination? Could be. I don't know, but I've never had a vision like that before. I never thought about something like that before, ever. This is like it kind of appeared out of nowhere. This is just like, and I was just like there. So
It was like a biblical
yeah,
scene or something.
it was very intense. And yeah, it felt like I was doing psychedelics, which I wasn't. I was completely sober.
But you did drink that tea.
I did drink tea. That's right. So, what do you make of the artifacts? You've seen them, you touched them, you filmed them. Like, what? Let me just ask you this: as far as your, if you had to bet, are they real, or did some Mexican guys did it in a sweatshop?
They seem very old. I'll just say that. If you pick up a quartz that size or a crystal that size, will have the same effect.
Yeah,
The fact that it looks like us, I think that something about that is that mirroring.
I mean, let's think about it for a second. If we were a bunch of hoaxsters, and we wanted to create all this for just to make money from tourists or people like Greg and Christy, how would we even go about it?
I mean, just the quality of
Right? So detailed.
Yeah, detailed and also just like aesthetically crazy good.
Yeah.
Like they were made with love, but also with like mastery
Yeah.
over the
And all these different engravings, like what is it? How is it? It's not carved. It's just like some of it was just so deep, like
It's like etched. I mean, how do you etch something like that? Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's almost like they just almost like scored it with something sharp, and then I don't know, some kind of. I had no idea.
yeah.
But that's hard. That's hard material, right? How do you like?
It's and also freaking heavy.
Yeah.
So heavy. It seems like way heavier than what it even okay, I wonder if I just go now to a crystals shop and lift up some of the crystal, will it be that heavy and dense? Because it really felt like, and not only the skulls, all the artifacts were super heavy. Super heavy. I mean, I don't know. I just don't see how this is. It doesn't feel like it's made in a sweatshop somewhere in China.
No.
Or, or even in you want to tell me that people in Germany in the 1800s did all this? What? It glows like, what the fuck? I don't know. It feels real. It feels authentic. And if it is, then history as we know it is not what we thought. Not what we thought. Which is, you know what, at this point, or what's going on in the world lately, I'm not surprised.
What surprises us anymore, right?
Yeah. Like, yeah, they're not telling us the truth. And there's just a big part of it. And this is, I think, why the establishment, the Mexican government, they're like, yeah, this is all bullshit. Because they can't acknowledge this. What is that? If you prove that any of these artifacts are genuine and authentic and came from an ancient civilization 12,000 years ago, then it's game over. Everything we thought we know about life and the world is not what we thought. And what does that mean? About us, about the world, about history, about why we're here? That's so crazy.
Yeah, you did say you were a time traveler. I was like, you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but maybe. I mean, maybe. Who knows? Who knows? And that cave. He didn't want us to film it, but that was crazy looking cave.
Yeah.
You can really see like that the earth's just like, oh, you can go in it.
Yeah, I didn't get it as good a look as you did, but it looked like something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what a character, huh?
Yeah.
What a character. Both of them. Super interesting people.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Yeah.
So what do you take from all this?
I don't know. It's like when he started saying like, oh, there's crystal skulls everywhere, but they've been destroyed. But then again, it's like we have this, we've been taught this like reality, right? Of, let's just, we've got churches, we've got synagogues, we got, this is our structure, and anything that doesn't match with that, let's just sweep it to the side. And yeah, I don't know what to make of it, honestly. It's a complete mystery but is very intriguing. Like I want to learn more.
Yeah. And I guess, at least for me, it's a great story. And that's mostly what I care about. It's an incredible story. Is it 100% true? Who the fuck knows? We don't know. Maybe, but if it is, bro.